Are you looking for the best 65-inch TVs 0F 2025? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best TVs on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Samsung 65-inch S90D OLED 4K TV. When factoring in performance and price, the Samsung S90D is the best 65-inch TV and our pick for the best TV period that you can buy. It wowed us in all our tests, and it can often be found for around $1,600, which is a fantastic deal for such an impressive display. The S90D is the 2024 replacement for our previous pick in this category, the 2023 Samsung S90C. Though the S90C remains an excellent TV, it's hard to find in stock and the S90D costs about the same. With that in mind, we now recommend the S90D as our top pick. Part of what makes the 65-inch S90D so impressive is the display's use of an OLED panel with quantum dots. Similarly priced LG OLED TVs are missing quantum dots, and this feature enables the S90D to produce brighter colors. Coupled with the TV's infinite contrast ratio, the S90D's quantum dot filter leads to gorgeous high dynamic range (HDR) images. In our testing, we measured a peak brightness of around 1240 nits, which is excellent for a mid-range OLED. And though it's disappointing that Samsung doesn't support the Dolby Vision format, which can provide a more finely tuned HDR image, the S90D's HDR10 and HDR10 Plus capabilities are so strong that we don't think most people will notice a difference. You can learn more about how various HDR formats compare in our HDR TV guide. The S90D also upscales lower resolution content well, though it can't match the picture processing of high-end Sony displays. Whether you're watching 4K movies in a dark room or channel surfing in an average living room during the day, the S90D looks great. The Smart TV interface is also solid, though its navigation speed isn't as consistent as we'd like. We also ran into some glitches related to notification pop-ups and automatic app startups, but these issues should be easy to fix with firmware. At number 2. LG 65-inch G3 OLED 4K TV. LG's G3 is ideal for buyers who want a design-focused 65-inch TV that doesn't skimp on top-notch home theater performance. Though technically a 2023 model, the 65-inch G3 remains in stock and still compares favorably to pricier 2024 options. Like Samsung's popular frame TV, the G3 has a thin profile and a flush mount that lets you hang it on your wall with virtually no gap. But unlike the frame, the G3 uses an OLED panel for superior picture quality with much better contrast, black levels, and viewing angles. You miss out on the frame's matte screen, separate connection box, and interchangeable bezels, but the jump in image performance is substantial. And despite not using quantum dots like high-end OLEDs from Sony and Samsung, the G3 is still one of the brightest OLEDs we've tested. During our evaluation, we measured a peak of around 1470 nits on the G3, which is more than enough to enjoy HDR content. But while the G3 looks gorgeous on a wall, it's not a top pick if you plan to put it on an entertainment console. It doesn't even come with a stand, so you'd have to buy one separately, which adds to the cost, and we don't like how the panel tilts back slightly when it's attached to its stand. At number 3. Hisense 65-inch U6N QLED 4K TV. Hisense's U6N is the 2024 version of our previous pick in this category, a Hisense U6K. We still think the U6K is a fantastic TV, but it's no longer sold at most stores. With that in mind, the U6N is our new pick for the best 65-inch TV on a budget. Despite some performance trade-offs, the U6N delivers incredible value at this size. Like the older U6K, this budget-friendly TV uses a QLED display with local dimming in quantum dots. While there are similarly priced competitors with those features, the U6N is one of the few TVs in this class that also uses Mini LED technology. Mini LEDs enable more precise control of the TV's light output to produce better contrast and less blooming halos around bright objects. And though the U6K also had Mini LEDs, the U6N actually uses more dimming zones, which enables even better contrast performance. But while the U6N's dimming performance is great for its class, black levels aren't quite as precise as they are on more expensive QLED sets. We also noticed some banding, blocky rather than smooth color gradients, when watching certain streaming apps, which is something that pricier sets handle better. The U6N also has a dimmer image compared to premium QLEDs, so it's not ideal for rooms that let in a lot of light. That said, the TV's brightness is still solid for the money. We measured a peak of around 625 nits, and the TV produces highlights with just enough intensity to demonstrate the perks of high dynamic range content. And thanks to its quantum dot filter, the U6N offers a wide range of colors when watching HDR videos. You'll just want to view those videos from a centered view since colors distort if you sit at an angle. At number 4. Sony 65-inch and 95L OLED 4K TV. Sony's A95L OLED is built for home theater enthusiasts. It's expensive, but the display edges out the picture performance of every other 4K TV we've reviewed. Compared to its already impressive predecessor, the A95K, the A95L offers a big upgrade in one key area: peak brightness. We measured a peak of around 1500 nits on a 5% test pattern with the TV set in its most accurate picture mode. That's a 50% increase over the previous model and one of the highest brightness levels we've ever seen on an OLED. This lets the TV display specular highlights, like explosions, with more realistic intensity when watching HDR content graded beyond 1000 nits. But while the A95L's brightness is impressive, Samsung's S95D, LG's G4, and Panasonic's Z95 OLEDs can surpass it. However, the A95L still distinguishes itself from competitors thanks to Sony's proprietary picture processing powered by its cognitive processor XR. Though that sounds like marketing jargon, this tech makes a difference when optimizing the TV's images. Its HDR tone mapping is also more accurate than Samsung's. And unlike Samsung, it supports Dolby Vision, so you'll get slightly better high dynamic range performance when watching Dolby Vision content. The display complements its high-end picture with a premium design and a unique stand that can be attached in a low or high-profile configuration. Low allows the TV to sit flush with your entertainment console, while high gives you enough room to put a soundbar in front. The A95L also boasts reliable Google TV streaming and comes with a webcam that can be used for video calls and gesture controls, which is a cool extra perk. From image quality to design, the A95L fully earns its premium status. We wish it had more HDMI 2.1 ports and a 144Hz mode for PC gaming, but those omissions are minor compared to everything the A95L does right. Though most people will be satisfied with a less expensive TV, the A95L is ideal for videophiles willing to pay a premium to get the best movie watching experience. At number 5. TCL's 65-inch QM7 QLED 4K TV. TCL's QM7 is one of the best 65-inch TVs on a mid-range budget. The display's QLED panel delivers a peak of around 1700 nits, which makes it one of the brightest displays in its price range. This high brightness gives HDR images sparkling intensity and gives you plenty of headroom to pump up SDR, standard dynamic range, luminance to combat glare in rooms with ambient light. Like its 2023 predecessor, the Q7 QLED, the QM7 has local dimming support. This feature allows the TV to precisely adjust its light output across specific zones. Even better, the QM7 uses mini LEDs rather than the standard-sized LEDs found on the Q7. As a result, the display can pack in more zones, which leads to better contrast control. This leads to excellent image performance, and we didn't notice any major blooming around bright objects during our review. That said, black levels aren't perfect and they don't quite disappear into a dark room the way they would on an OLED model. And though decent, the TV's handling of lower quality sources isn't as sharp and clean as we've seen on pricier sets from brands like Sony, LG, and Samsung. Like most QLED TVs, viewing angles are also mediocre, so colors and contrast fade if you sit to the side of the display. On the plus side, the TV is well equipped for gaming. It's one of the most affordable 144Hz displays on the market, which enables smooth gameplay when paired with a compatible PC. At number 6. Samsung's 65-inch The Frame. The Samsung Frame TV is perfect for buyers who want a 65-inch display that blends seamlessly into their living room decor. Built with an emphasis on design, the TV features interchangeable bezels and a matte screen that can make it look like a piece of art hanging on your wall. The bezels come in different styles that magnetically attach to the TV. The frame also has a slim-fit wall mount that lets you hang it flush against your wall. And unlike most TVs, the frame uses a separate One Connect box to house all its ports, so you just need one cable running from the display. If you need to connect an AV receiver, streaming device, or gaming console, you simply hook those up to the TV's external box, which removes all those unsightly wires on your wall. The screen features a matte finish rather than the glossy look of most modern TVs. This helps reduce reflections and gives the frame a canvas-like appearance. The frame also has an arc mode, which lets it display paintings, photos, or other images when not used as a TV. Built-in motion sensors can be activated so the arc mode turns on when the TV senses someone in the room. You can use your own images or have the frame cycle through Arc from Samsung's Art Store, subscription required. But while the frame has a high-end design, its picture quality is a mixed bag. The QLED panel offers wide color support, but brightness is limited compared to Samsung's top QLEDs. It also lacks local dimming, which results in the worst contrast and black level performance of any 65-inch TV in this guide. At number 7. Roku's 65-inch Pro Series 4K QLED TV. There are many smart TV interfaces out there, but Roku's OS operating system is our favorite for its ease of use. The brand's OS is available on some entry-level TVs from TCL and Hisense, but none of those options perform as well as Roku's own flagship Pro Series TV. Like the TCL QM7, the Roku Pro Series features a QLED panel with a mini LED backlight and local dimming. This gives it great control over its light output, with better black level and contrast performance than cheaper QLED TVs, like the Hisense U6N. It can also get much brighter than that model with over 1000 nits of peak luminance. That said, the Pro Series can't quite match the brightness or backlight precision of other QLEDs in this class, like the TCL QM7, and it's capped at 120 Hz rather than 144 Hz. It also suffers from poor viewing angles and reflections in bright rooms, but those are common drawbacks for most QLEDs. Thankfully, the Roku Pro Series makes up for these cons with quick smart TV navigation and key design perks. The Roku homepage is simple to use and puts all your favorite apps up front as large tiles that you can organize as you wish. We prefer this over the more content-heavy focus of other platforms, like the Fire TV OS, which can come across as a bit cluttered. Moving through services is speedy and we didn't encounter any major hiccups in our tests. We also love the TV's compact remote, which charges via USB, so you don't need batteries. It has backlit keys, too, for easy use in a dark room. You can access voice search by speaking a wake word or by pressing a button on the remote. And if you ever lose the remote, it has a built-in speaker that will chime when you press a button on the TV.